remember, the whole idea here on this client-to-client cycle is that you want to have one client replace himself with two clients. And those two will replace themselves with two more clients. Joe, you're the mathematician here, but it doesn't take very long to show the exponential growth you can have in your law firm if you're willing to put in the time and effort to, again, meet or exceed your client's needs in these drunk driving cases. Agreed?
And people take recommendations from people who they trust, people who can say, I went through this, here's my attorney, he did a wonderful job for me, he cared for me, and he did a great job. That is worth watching 1,000 commercials on TV or reading something in the newspaper or even going on and looking at their website.
Joe, you brought up something that's enormously important, and I want to talk about this for a second. I can't tell you the number of times, and I know you've shared this experience, where a client comes to you and had a prior offense, okay? And you say to your client, who was your lawyer on your prior DWI? Oh, I don't remember. Well, where's he located? I don't know. I think he's in, he might be in, Milford or something. I don't know where he is, okay? Now, if you're going to have a successful client-to-client cycle, and you're going to utilize the power of word of mouth, the key element is your client can never forget you, who you are, and how to get a hold of you. Now, this may be something as simple as putting your client on a mailing list, sending him birthday cards, calling him up periodically, maintaining some level of contact with your client so your client will never forget A, your name, and B, where you are, and more importantly, either your website or your telephone number. I know that you take extraordinary steps to maintain your clients as members of the Joe Rem family, so to speak. What are the techniques you utilize to make sure that your clients will never forget who you are and how to get a hold of you?
Well, what I do is when during the time that I'm representing them, I will from time to time pick up the phone on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, call them, tell them I'm working on their case, just thinking about them, ask them a question about the case, and say, all right, listen, I'm just going to get back to work on it. Maybe I'm working on the case, maybe I'm not. But they feel comforted by that. They think, wow, my attorney's in the office on the weekend. And before I leave the office at night, if I'm leaving late, I'll call a client on the way home, just one at random, because they listen, I was just working on your file there, and I just wanted to say hi, see how you're feeling. I know you were under a lot of pressure when you got arrested, and I know how disturbing it was. Just wanted to tell you we're still there for you. We got a good shot here. Let's see what we're doing. And then just in the last 2 weeks, I've taken 3 clients out to dinner. I took them out to dinner. Now, I happen to have developed a kind of friendly relationship with them while I am currently representing them. But I want to expand that. And I was taking them out because I do view them in a friendly way and as a friend, but it doesn't hurt that they're also clients.
But in terms of just the average routine client, I know you've been practicing law as a private attorney for 40 years. You've had an enormously successful practice by Bergen County standards, in fact, by anybody's standards. So what is it that you do to maintain contact with your clients after the case is over? So that 3 months, 5 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it may be from now, they're going to remember who Joe Rem is and where your law firm is.
Well, look, we diary, on matters that can be expunged. We diary dates, follow-up dates to notify them when the expungement laws change, and we can notify them, look, you're going to be eligible now within 3 years and not 5 years now. Think about it if you want to have it expunged. Every now and then I will just simply call them. I don't have any regular procedure to remember their birthdays or anything like that. I'm kind of put off when I get a letter from a dentist that I saw a year ago and he's sending me a happy birthday card. It seems impersonal. But for me, it's all about phone calls. It's all about randomly, especially where I've had people who were widowed, their spouse passed away. I'll read that in the newspaper. I'll give them a call and share my grief with them. And then I will diary to call them 6 months later to see how they're doing now. Those kinds of things. Those are the things that to me are important.
I found that little things like a refrigerator magnet or things of that nature, something that's going to be in the house so that it'll be in front of them every time they go to the refrigerator, has been enormously helpful in keeping my access to me fairly simple. Some attorneys utilize a mailing list. They'll send out newsletters and things of that nature, which are done in such a way that lay people would be interested in what they're talking about. But again, the whole idea is remember me? I was your lawyer. If you want to send a friend over to see me, here's how your friend can get a hold of me. Tell them to mention your name and I'll give them a 5% discount on the legal fee or something of that nature, you know. Um, just, I think it's an important concept from a business standpoint. You would agree with me with that at least, Joe, right?
It's all about client communication. And for me, at least primarily while you're representing them and caring about them, because, listen, we deal with people, 10% of the people we deal with, or 15% have anger management issues and bipolar issues. And they're extremely difficult clients to deal with. But the other 85% are either very professional or they're wonderful and warm. So the other 85% are people that you look forward to speaking with.
You would agree with me, Joe, that you can't have a client to client cycle and expect that the client is going to replace himself with one or two new clients if he doesn't remember who you are. Okay. And I know you've run into the situation where clients don't remember who their prior attorney was on something that was so important in their lives at the time, don't you think?
Without question, say, I don't know. I hired this guy, and the first time we went to court, he pled me guilty. And I'm thinking, well, why didn't you just use your friend to drive you to court, stand there while you pled guilty?
Right. So don't let that happen to you. Meet your client's needs and make sure your client's going to be able to find you in the future when he wants to refer new business to you, because he will be so happy that you met and exceeded the needs that he expressed to you early on in the case. Agree?
Agreed.